All right, good morning, everybody. Well, everybody knows the news, obviously, about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder 3 being postponed. But since this postponement, there's been tons of conspiracy theories as to why this fight was postponed because many people are questioning whether or not Tyson Fury and the members in his camp really have COVID, right? So some of the conspiracy theories being floated out there is, well, the tickets weren't selling, so they wanted to postpone the event because of that, because the event wasn't doing well. All right, there was no interest in the fight, and as a reflection of that, people weren't buying tickets to the event, so we're going to postpone it, right? Another conspiracy theory going out there is that Tyson Fury was not ready and he was getting beating up in camp. So he's getting beaten up in camp and he was having a poor camp. So he decided that he needed more time. And because of that, they're saying that the fight was postponed and he lied about having COVID so he can get more time to get prepared for the fight. All right. Another one out there is people are accusing him of just trying to get out of the fight, right? They're going to drag out this postponement until eventually they just cancel the fight altogether, right? So let's go down these conspiracy theories one by one. People are saying that tickets weren't doing well in terms of sales. I've heard otherwise. Some of the reports that I got, did some research, made some phone calls, and with 3 weeks left, I was told that there was about roughly 2,500 to 3,000 tickets left, right? And I was also told that the event was on par with the previous fight in terms of sales, right? It was going to be sell. It was close to being sold out, and the projection was that it would be sold out or pretty damn near close to being sold out. So there was no real issues with the sales. And how would that be rectified by postponing it to October? Because that's the potential date that's being thrown out there is the October date. How would that be rectified? How would putting the fight off until October ensure that ticket sales would be better? What would be different about the event? In fact, I think the postponement is going to hurt ticket sales because people are frustrated, they're aggravated, they're just so sick of all these postponements and how this has been dragged out for so long. And eventually, I think people have lost interest and they're starting to lose interest, and they probably will continue to lose interest as time goes on because there'll be other events going on, and then it'll be closer to football. There'll be football season. People will be more wrapped up into college football, pro football. So it does the fight no financial benefit, in my opinion. And it's pretty obvious that there's no guarantee that by putting it in October, it's going to do better. In my opinion, because of all those things I just mentioned, it could potentially do worse. So the postponement could hurt the fight really bad, and even worse than the alleged claims are right now. So even if the alleged claims are true that the fight's hurting financially and people aren't interested in it and they're not able to sell tickets, which I totally don't believe given the information that I got, right? So even if that was true, I think that situation would be worsened by postponing it until October, in my opinion. Now, the thing about Tyson Fury not looking good in camp, again, there's no way of really knowing that. Some people are saying, well, he's got some scars on his face. Again, anyone can get scars on their face. It doesn't mean that they're essentially getting beat up in sparring and they're not doing well in sparring. You go into camp, even Floyd Mayweather, when he was training for Marcos Maidana, he had a black eye. He had some bruising on his eye. That doesn't always translate into a bad camp. I remember, talking to Sugar Ray Leonard I interviewed Sugar Ray Leonard, and I remember talking to him, and he was telling me that he got beat up in sparring against Quincy Taylor before the Marvin Hagler fight. So all these sparring stories, they don't translate into the ring. We were told that Joshua was getting beat up in sparring leading up to the rematch, I think, with Andy Ruiz. There's always these sparring rumors. Someone's getting beat up in sparring. And again, there's no way of us knowing if that's the case. Okay, he did have some marks on his face, but that doesn't always mean you're getting beat up in sparring. You can get hit a few times and bruise and scar easy. Tyson Fury is a fair-skinned man, so if he does get hit, he'll bruise. His eye got busted up in the Wallen fight, but he still won the fight clearly and handily, 9 rounds to 3. So I'm not totally disregarding that the possibility could be there that he did have a bad camp. I don't think that was a reason why the fight would be postponed, because once again, Top Rank put a lot of money up to promote this fight. There was a lot, ESPN put some money up. So there was money that was spent during the promotion of this fight, and now it's lost. So I don't think just because Tyson Fury decides that, hey, he doesn't want to fight now because he's not ready, because he's having a bad camp, I don't think everyone else involved in this event is just going to go along with that and say, oh, you need more time to prepare. And what about PBC and Deontay Wilder's side? They're putting up money as well. So everybody's spending money to promote this event. So is everyone just going to say, hey, we're just going to throw all that away? So that's the thing. So again, these are just speculation, and these are all just rumors, and they're all just speculation, to be perfectly honest with you. These claims are unfounded, right? So now they're saying that Tyson Fury just wants to get out of the fight. Again, I know he mentioned that he was talking about retirement, and it's very possible, and it seems to me at this particular time that Tyson Fury may not have his head all the way into this fight. He may be thinking about other things. He may not even be focused on the sport of boxing anymore, because we all know his history. He's got that volatile personality. One day he's up, one day he's down. One day he loves boxing, one day he hates it. One day he wants to do one thing, another day he wants to do another thing. That could be possible. But once again, there's a lot of other people involved in this event. He signed a contract. So just because he doesn't feel like fighting Deontay Wilder, and this is to say, if this was true, he signed a contract, and he could get sued if he just decides, I don't want to fight. So now people are questioning the results of this COVID test, right? Like Tyson Fury's lying, Top Rank's lying. Now, apparently Bob Arum did put out misinformation. Tyson Fury and his team were not fully vaccinated, right? Tyson Fury only got the first shot. Shelley Finkel says that Deontay Wilder got both shots of the Pfizer vaccine, right? But apparently, according to reports, Tyson Fury only got one shot. And as was reported, he was out gallivanting around. He was going to events. He went to the Billy Joe Saunders Canelo Alvarez event with 73,000 people without being fully vaccinated. Obviously, he put himself and other people at risk. So, again, but going back to the vaccine, right? And going back to the virus itself. So part of the medical protocol is that the fighters have to get COVID tested, right? And those results get sent to a lab, and a lab technician, a medical professional, a doctor is going to look at those results, and he's going to be able to determine whether someone's positive or negative, right? So it's one thing if you say that, hey, if you're a fighter and you go to a doctor and say, hey, I got a sprained ankle, I can't fight because my ankle's hurting me or my hand's hurting me. A doctor can give you a physical examination. He could grab your ankle, twist it, move it around, and he can say, does this hurt? And you could lie to him and say, yeah, it hurts. So he could, put in his report, yeah, patient complained of pain. When I pressed it, he said there was tenderness there. He said he feels pain when he stands on it. He can't push off on it. The doctor's not going to order an MRI for something like that. If you say that you have pain, and then the doctor can write up a medical report. You can write up a diagnosis saying, "Oh, okay, the guy has pain." But what some of you guys are claiming is a doctor is going to falsify the results of a test. It's one thing, like I said, if you go into a doctor's office and you could lie to a doctor, and he may not be able to, he may even know you're lying or whatever, but he could always, even if he did know you're lying, even if he didn't believe you, you know, if he wanted to go along with you, he could just say, "Hey, he complained of pain. I gave him a physical exam. I moved his ankle in certain positions, or I moved his arm in certain positions. He said he felt pain. So I'm it's my personal opinion and my expert opinion or my medical opinion that he's not fit to fight." Okay, that's one thing. But what you guys are claiming, that a test that everyone's getting, the whole camp got the test. So 10 people tested positive. So you mean to tell me that the medical practitioner, the doctor, is going to lie and just say all those tests were positive when they were negative, right? And then the commission's just going to go along with that? Do you guys realize that that's a felony? Let's look at what that type of crime would carry. What type of penalty that crime would carry? Okay, so it's a felony. So the the consequences of forging medical records. Doctors accused of altering their records face several potential unwanted consequences. Since falsifying records is it's a federal offense. Okay? Those found to have engaged in such behavior may be subject to criminal penalties that include imprisonment and heavy fines. Falsifying records could also give rise to civil liability in either a fraud scenario or a medical malpractice case. Moreover, insurance providers may impose their consequences in situations where a doctor is alleged to have falsified records. Okay? So, falsifying medical records is a felony crime with a potential fine of $250,000 and 5 years in prison. So any doctor that got caught doing that, right? His life would be over as he knows it. His medical career would be over. He would have a felony on his record. He would never be able to practice medicine ever again. If the commission knowingly went along with that, they would face charges of fraud. All you got to do is Google Bob Lee, who is the chairman of the IBF, right? He was the chairman of the IBF, right? He got convicted of fraud, and he did, I think, about I want to be accurate, so I'm going to Google Bob Lee, and I want to get the exact punishment that he faced. Okay, because I don't want to say things that aren't true here. Because all you got to do. So he was guilty on 6 counts, six of 38 counts of fraud. Okay. So he was convicted of taking 338,000 bribes from promoters and managers to fix rankings and sanction fights. He was found guilty of tax evasion, money laundering, racketeering, right? He was facing fines of up to $1 million, right? And let's see the exact amount of jail time he did for all these issues, right? Okay. So, okay. Let me see exactly. Okay. because I do remember. Yeah, look at all these bribes and stuff. So people just think it's so easy to get away with this stuff, right? Because this guy actually did time in prison. He had to pay a ton of money in fines. Okay, so he was indicted. He was indicted. This was back in 1999. Okay. So I think it says here he did 8 years in prison actually. All right. So this guy's life was ruined. Okay. This guy's life was ruined. Okay. It was ruined. So this guy did prison time. He had to pay fines, and that's something he had to carry around for the rest of his life. So just Google it. Google it. Google Bob Lee, right? Google Bob Lee IBF. That's all you got to do. And ask yourself, would any commissioner or any uh, person that's involved with a sanctioning body, would any commission want to be involved in something like that, right? So he was found guilty of 6 of 38 counts of fraud, money laundering, and all that stuff, right? So would the commission want to subject themselves to that as well, right? Are they just going to go along and they're going to falsify medical documents? Okay? Think about that. Is the risk worth the reward? What is the benefit? What is the benefit of postponing this fight? Top Rank's losing money. ESPN loses, ESPN loses money as well, right? Because they're sitting there paying their staff and stuff to do interviews and talk about the fight. And when the press conference and all that, ESPN's got their staff there. They got to pay their staff. They got to Top Ranks there. They got to pay Christina Poncher. So you're just saying people they just throw this money away. They spent the money to promote the fight. ESPN, Top Rank, PBC, everyone's just going to put the money up and it's just going to get lost, right? And then they're going to have to promote the fight again for October, so they're going to have to spend money again. So they're going to pay double the money to promote the same event, right? It makes no sense. Could Tyson Fury not be ready for the fight? It's possible, right? Can he? Could it be possible that he doesn't? He has a change of heart. Maybe he's not motivated, or maybe he just doesn't want to fight Wilder anymore. That's all possible given his history. No one's defending Tyson Fury's character here. No one's defending the fact that he's irresponsible, right? No one's defending his erratic behavior. No one's defending the fact that he's never defended this title or any heavyweight title that he's ever won. No one's defending the fact that he pulls out of fights, right? He's got a history of being unreliable. He's got a history of volatile, erratic, and questionable behavior. He seems like the type of guy that just likes to self-sabotage himself. No one's defending Tyson Fury. What I'm saying is there's too many people involved here, too many other people involved here that lost money, and it serves them no benefit to postpone this fight to October. It serves them no benefit. It serves Arum no benefit. Why would he willingly just lose money just so he could postpone this fight as a favor to Tyson Fury, right? Why would he do that? Why? There was ads on both networks for this fight. And that costs money, guys. That costs money. There was ads on ESPN. There was ads on Fox. There was ads for this. They were promoting this fight. They were spending money. People would probably be, there's people being flown in, right, that lost money. I already talked about the training teams that lost money, the fighters on the undercard losing out on the pay. Like there was a substantial amount of money that's being lost. I even read an article that Vegas is pissed because they were looking to have a big event finally to recoup all that revenue that they lost during the pandemic. So Vegas is pissed, right? Vegas is pissed because they invested in this. They invested and are financially vested in this event. So you got all these other people that have a financial interest in this fight, and just because Tyson Fury may not be ready for a fight, or just because Tyson Fury decides that he doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder, whatever Tyson Fury's motives are, it has no impact or effect on all these other people who have a financial interest in this fight, right? And the doctor and the commission who have to follow medical protocol. Part of the fighter's medicals are that he has to be COVID tested, right? He has to be COVID tested. Now I'm hearing rumors. I guess Micaiah Mayer is saying like that they test you 2 weeks before the event, right? Roughly 2 weeks before the event. Does that make sense? Is that something that they could change? Is that something that could be looked upon as being not a smart thing to do? Could that be considered a level of incompetence on the commission's part to ensure that someone has to be tested? No, they should be tested 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, as soon as the fight's announced. So is the commission testing these fighters vigorously enough to ensure that they're not positive? Because who knows? He could have been positive. He could have been positive maybe more than 2 weeks out, right? Who knows? Who knows when actually he contracted the virus, or the people in his team contracted the virus. So no one's defending Tyson Fury's character. No one's defending Tyson Fury here. But to sit there and just say that everyone's going to go along and be part of this conspiracy just to help Tyson Fury, when it serves the doctor no benefit to lie for Tyson Fury, to falsify documents. It actually hurts him, right? Why would he put himself in danger and at risk just so he could do Tyson Fury a solid? What motive would the commission have to do Tyson Fury a solid? Once again, the legal repercussions of committing fraud and medical malpractice is not worth it, okay? It's just not worth it. So there's no benefit here. This event doesn't become bigger because it's going to be in October, right? It's not going to be bigger because it's in October. It's actually going to be, it's going to make this event less successful financially, in my opinion, by putting it in October. Just got to be honest. I just don't see a benefit here to Top Rank, to anyone, to PBC. I don't see a benefit here. Thank you so much, Donkey Boxing, for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Just explain to me, if you believe this is what happened, just explain to me how the whole thing went down. So everyone that's everyone that was involved in this event, they had to take COVID. They had to subject themselves to COVID testing, right? Everyone had to be COVID tested if you're going to be involved in this event, whether you're a fighter, whether you're a press member, whether you're part of the training team, whether you're part of Top Rank, whatever, you have to be COVID tested, right? So those results have to be read. So certain people's results are going to be doctored by again. How could they lie that he had COVID? How? The only way that they could lie is if they falsified medical records. What is the motive for a doctor or a lab employee, anyone? Like, what is the motive for that person to do that? Right? What is the motive? They've already lost money, so they get so after losing money, someone's going to pay off a doctor to falsify the medical records. And what do they get out of it? How does that help them financially by postponing this fight? So everyone's just going to come to Tyson Fury's aid and do him a solid because he doesn't feel like fighting, or he may not want to fight Deontay Wilder. So all these people who invested in the fight, they're just going to say, fuck it. Who cares about all the money we put up? Who cares about who cares about the money we could make off this? We're just going to throw it all away to do Tyson Fury a solid. That's the thing. Everybody was tested. It's part of the protocol. So they just decided to lie on Tyson Fury. They decided to lie on Tyson Fury's test results and the members of his team. No one in Team Wilder tested positive, right? But you didn't see Team Wilder going out gallivanting around the country and partying in large groups of people like Tyson Fury was doing, right? Deontay Wilder got both of his shots. Okay? This is true. This is irrefutable. Well, I'm not going to say it's irrefutable, but I believe that the reports that he only got one shot, they've been confirmed by multiple people now. I'm going to have to stay. I'll concede that this is true. This is true. This is 100% true. But I'm hearing conflicting reports of Joseph Parker. Now, it's been reported that he has it, but his promoter, David Higgins, is saying he doesn't have it. So I don't know if Joseph Parker does have it or not. I don't know, because I'm hearing mixed reports. But one thing I do know for certain, there is a HIPAA requirement, sure. And of course, the medical records are not going to be released to the public. But the medical records have to be released to the commission for safety reasons, because they cannot allow an athlete to take part in an athletic contest or event knowing that they have COVID. Okay? So that's the thing. That's the thing. It's one thing, like I said, because I'm going to repeat myself, and I apologize for sounding redundant, because there's some people in the chat that have come on late. I want to make it perfectly clear. It's one thing going to the doctor and saying, hey, doc, my ankle's really sore. I can't really stand on it. I can't push on it. I can't push off on it. Well, it doesn't really look swollen to me. Yeah, but it hurts. It hurts inside, doc, right? Because you can sprain your ankle without it being swollen, because it could be deep in the joint, right? There's ligaments that it's not always a case that I've sprained my ankle before. It doesn't always swell. So a doctor, like I said, the doctor can examine the ankle, move it around. You can go, oh, does that hurt? Yes, that hurts, doc. Stand, push. Does that? Yes. You could lie to the doctor in that way, and he covers himself, because hey, when I examined the patient, he complained of pain, right? You could do all that, but to ask a doctor to look at a test result and interpret it falsely, once again, that is a stretch. That is a stretch. That's one thing that there's really no workaround for that. Now, I talked to someone in work. Well, they could say that they read the results wrong. Okay, but they would have to test them again to confirm that. Okay? So I'm sure they tested him multiple times just to make sure that he really had it. Right? So that's the thing. Yeah, I honestly don't know if Parker had it or not. I don't know. because some people, there's reports that say he had it, and then some reports say he didn't have it. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that, and I'm not even going to try. But let's be honest. Like Fury was irresponsible. No one's defending that. Fury may not want the fight, right? He may not want the fight. Doesn't seem to be taken. To me, doesn't seem to be taking the fight too seriously. He may not be ready. All those things, I'm not ruling them out whatsoever. I'm not saying that he doesn't have a past of pulling out of fights. I think he should be stripped, as I said in another video. But to just say that everyone else involved in this event, top rank Bob Arum, the commission, and the doctor who read the test results, all these people are in on it? Nah. There's no upside. There's no upside for Bob Arum to postpone this fight. He loses money. There's no upside for the commission to postpone this fight. They lose money. There's no upside for a doctor to falsify documents. Because if it gets discovered that he did that, potential jail time, hefty fine, medical license gets revoked, felony on his record for the rest of his life. So essentially his life's over. Why? So he can do Tyson Fury a solid and give him more time? Makes absolutely 0 sense. 0 sense. You got to use your logic here. Use your logic. It's one thing, as I said, hey, my shoulder hurts me, doc. We'll move it around here. The doctor will put his arm here, and then he'll tell you to put your hand on his shoulder. Okay, push. Does that hurt? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Guy's got a hurt shoulder. That's one thing. Anyone can do that. Anyone can go to a doctor and say, I don't feel good, and they can fake it, and the doctor's going to say, okay. I've done it before. I'm not proud of it, but I've done it before. When I wanted to get out of doing stuff. I did it in the military a couple times because I didn't want to go to the field, right? My shoulder's killing me. I don't think I could. I can't hold the rifle during the hikes, whatever. And I'd go to the doctor, and he'd give me a physical examination. Put your hand here, push. I would fake it so I didn't have to go to the field. That's one thing. But if they're giving me a test, and then they're going to read the results of a test and tell me that and they're going to lie and falsify the test results, no one's going to do that. The amount of trouble you can get in is just not, you're asking someone to throw their fucking life away just so they can do Tyson Fury a solid. No fucking way. No fucking way. No one's going to do that. Google, I repeat, Google Bob Lee. Look what happened. Look what happened to him when he committed fraud. Did 8 years in prison. Paid an exorbitant amount of money in fines. He's disgraced for the rest of his life. His life's over. May he rest in peace. He passed away. I don't want to say anything bad about him because he's gone. But at that particular time, when all that stuff transpired, his life was over. Okay, so let's just again, you could love Wilder and hate Fury. You don't have to like Fury. It's hard to be a Fury fan right now after all that's gone on. It's hard to be a Fury fan. The way he's behaved. It's really hard. No one's defending Fury. I'm the biggest Fury fan on YouTube, and I am disgusted and disappointed and extremely angry at Fury right now. Whether that matters or not, I'm sure he doesn't give a fuck. Little Joe Habib's mad at him, whatever. But you have to understand that no medical profession is going to risk his career and his quality of life and put himself in a position where he is going to do jail time, given quality. Listen to me. It's one thing, like I said, faking an injury. My wrist hurts. Okay. The doctor grabs your wrist, presses on it. Ah, okay. It's one thing doing that. And then he could write upon examination, patient complained of severe pain. He's not lying. You may be lying to him. He's only interpreting what you tell him, right? But it's another thing of taking a test, which everyone has to take. It's the medical protocol. Everyone has to take that COVID test if they're going to be involved in an event. It's part of the commission's medicals for fighters. They have to take that test, and the camps have to. The people on the teams have to take that test if they're gonna be in the corner. They're not gonna lie for Fury. There's no motivation for them to lie for Fury. None. They lose money if by this fight not happening. Everyone loses money. Everyone loses money by this fight being postponed. Once again, there is no benefit to postponing this fight. Bob Arum is going to lose money. He doesn't want this fight to be postponed. He doesn't. Now, before, did he stall it out and delay it so he could put it in front of a live crowd so he could make the most money off the event? I believe that. But now the COVID restrictions are over. We're all set now. There's no issues with not having a live gate there. They can make the most money possible for this event now, right? Okay. But to postpone it now with no COVID restrictions, none. Again, there is proof. You know what the proof is that he was tested? Because you have to be tested or you don't fight. It's a requirement. What are you not getting? It's part of the medical protocol. You have to fight. You have to fight it. You have to fight it. I know you want him to be, I know you want it not to be true. I know you want it not to be true. You already have enough reasons to not like Tyson Fury. You don't have to add another one on there. They have to take the test. Everybody. Wilder's been COVID tested. Everybody involved in this event has to be COVID tested. They have to be COVID tested. Tim Bradley has to be COVID tested, or he's not going to be allowed to go in the arena and commentate the fight because they're not going to put him in a situation where he can infect others. Andre Ward has to be tested. Christina Poncher has to be tested. They were negative. Okay? So you're just gonna tell me that out of the blue, they just decided that everyone else's test would be on the up and up, but we're gonna fudge Tyson Fury's test because he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to fight on July 24th, and he doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder. So we're just going to allow him to not have to do that by falsifying his COVID test results. No. The proof is that you know what the proof that he was tested? It's a requirement. Everyone else did it as well. Okay? Call the commission. I called the commission. It's a requirement. I called the commission. It's a requirement. It's a requirement. It's irrefutable. You can't argue it. You can't argue that point. You can't. You cannot argue that point. This is true. Top Rank doesn't do precautionary efforts. They have had the most canceled. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. You can say Top Rank is incompetent. Not defending Top Rank either. You could even say the commission's incompetent if what Micaiah Mayer said is true, that they're only testing 2 weeks out before the event. That's when they start the COVID testing. That's incompetence too. One thing is very clear. Things things must be, again, and here's another thing people keep bringing into the fray here. It's a requirement TO and Fury must be negative before traveling. But no, that's not true. That's not true. That is 100% not true. You can travel in the United States because there is no state of emergency. The state of emergency has been lifted. There's nothing telling you can't travel if you have COVID. Nothing. Now, if a business knows you have COVID, there's really no way of knowing who has COVID and who doesn't, because it's a HIPAA violation. You don't have to tell someone if you have COVID. You don't have to tell someone if you have COVID. But there is no state of emergency any longer. So you can have COVID and you can go and you can travel. You can travel. Now, if you go into another country, I do believe you have to be COVID tested. And if you test positive, you can't come into the country. I do know that. And then people are saying that Tio went to Italy, and then some people are saying he didn't. Who knows? Again, we're hearing mixed reports. If you have COVID, if you have COVID and no one knows you have COVID, you can go anywhere you want. And you can go anywhere you want domestically. But if you do travel to another country, then before you enter that country, you have to test. And if you're positive, you have to quarantine immediately once you enter the country. Yeah, they can tell you have to quarantine. That is correct. USA is not letting it. No, USA is not letting anyone from the UK. Well, I believe that the UK is not allowing people to travel out of the country. There's a UK travel ban. That is true. But once again, you can get an exception for work purposes. They're allowing people. I know people that have traveled to the UK because of their job, and for work purposes, you are allowed to travel. They give you an exception as long as you pass a COVID test. And if you fail the COVID test, and you're in the country, they tell you have to be quarantined. So again, you have to know. You can't just say things without knowing them. Okay? I work for the health department. I know the COVID rules and regulations. During COVID, I was going into businesses and making sure they were in compliance with the guidelines. I've been to several meetings about COVID, so I know I'm pretty knowledgeable in about the rules and regulations when it comes to COVID. Okay, so this is a deflection. So because I debunked all your other arguments, now what do? They want to change the topic. That's what they do. That's what the fanatics do. But it's fine. It's fine. But we just got to call it like we see it. Once again, they just don't want to listen to what I'm telling them. The detractors. They don't want to listen. No COVID, but sparring partners are removing damning evidence of them being in public with no mask. Again, we don't know who has it in the camp. We know some of the people that have it, but we don't know all the people that have it in that camp. Because 10 people have it. There was only not all 10 names were released. I'm hearing that Parker doesn't have it. David Higgins says Parker doesn't have it. The argument here is this. We know Fury doesn't tell the truth. We know Aram doesn't tell the truth. But now you're implicating other people into it. Okay? Like I said, it's one thing faking an injury and going to a doctor and telling him you're in pain, and he examines you and he confirms that you're in pain because you're lying to him that you're in pain. He can write that you're in pain and you're not fit to fight. But for a doctor to sit there and have a test result in front of him that says you're positive, and then he's going to go in and falsify the report negative, Well, while and he's gonna have to put that label on the blood, right? He gets caught, it's over. No one's gonna do that. No one's gonna do that. Well, I'll show you. Let's Google Joseph Parker. Again, once again, there is no state of emergency. So if you have COVID, no one can tell you, that you can't travel. I mean, I'm not saying that no one can tell you can't go out and about in the United States. You can't travel overseas though. So yeah, there's reports that Joseph Parker tested positive for COVID. There's a lot of reports here that he tested positive, but his promoter comes out and says he doesn't have it. But once again, no one is protecting and defending anyone who's acting irresponsibly here. But Joseph Parker is not getting in a ring and fighting. The commission cannot allow you to fight if you have COVID. There's no rule that says Joseph Parker can't go to a UFC event if he has COVID. There's none, because the state of emergency has been lifted. The COVID restrictions have been lifted, right? So there are reports that Joseph Parker has it, but then his promoter is saying that he doesn't have it. So I don't know which is true and which is not. I don't know which is true and which is not. I really don't. Let me see. Let me see if I can find the story on Google here. So when you Google this Joseph Parker COVID, yeah, there's a lot of reports that says he has COVID, but there is one story that says he doesn't. But regardless of the fact, there's nothing stopping Joseph Parker from doing whatever he wants, even if he does have COVID, to be honest with you. There's nothing, because there's no longer any COVID restrictions. So there's nothing that states that if you have COVID, because the mask mandate is lifted, all the social distancing guidelines have been lifted. So there could be many people still walking around the country right now who have COVID. So if Joseph Parker does have COVID, then again, he's irresponsible too. But that still doesn't mean somebody lied and said that Tyson Fury had COVID and he didn't. Joseph Parker's irresponsible behavior doesn't mean that a medical professional is going to lie and falsify medical reports for Tyson Fury. So what does that mean? Nothing is going to stop Tyson Fury right now from doing whatever he wants to do. One thing he can't do, one thing the commission won't let him do, is fight because he has COVID. So that's the commission's guidelines, right? That's the thing. Well, if you want me to check out your YouTube page, you got to tell me what it is. How am I supposed to find it? I know some of the people who have COVID. Not all of them. I know that Isaac, that featherweight, the British featherweight, has it. I was told his strength and conditioning coach, I think, has it. And I was told Tyson Fury has it. I don't know everybody that has it. They didn't release every single name in the camp that has it. Are you telling me to stop being stupid? That's an instant block. You're insulting me for no reason. I'm being stupid. That's an instant block. You're gone. Calling me an idiot, a stupid idiot. I have nothing. I have no dog in this race, bro. All I'm telling you is, you're telling me to believe that that a doctor is going to falsify a medical result to do Tyson Fury a solid and basically ruin his life forever just so he can help Tyson Fury. No. I'm not going to believe that. I'm not going to believe that. Prove to me how that can be possible. Prove to me. If everyone's being tested and everyone's results are being reported, they're just going to automatically say that the people in all, like the 10 people in Tyson Fury's camps, are positive, but you're not going to know the doctor's name that tested him. They don't have to. No one has to release their medical records to the public. No one has to release their medical records to the public. Obviously, the commission has to know, because they cannot allow you to fight and put other people at risk of getting COVID. They can't allow you to do that for the safety of others. Till we get one real press release from top stank official and a PBC official, all these reports coming from old lying. There is no old media. There is the media. There's no old or new media. Mike Coppinger is not an old person. Steve Kim's not old. People on the LDBC are older than Steve Kim. People are older than Mike Montero, right? They're older than Mike Coppinger. What do you mean old? What does that mean? Old media? I mean, what are you, a media member? Because you're like you think these people on YouTube are actual media members because they got a YouTube channel? YouTube's not media, bro. It's social media. It's not real. These guys aren't real media. They're not real journalists. They make videos. They give their opinions. They're not journalists. Think about this. All these people who say they're new media, all they do is go on the internet and take the stories that old media puts out, and they make videos based off of the old media stories. These guys aren't breaking news themselves. They're not insiders. No, they don't. That's a false statement. YouTube boxing outlets get more credible inside info. No, they don't. They get rumors. There is no new media. There's YouTube channels. Those guys are not media members. Just because you get credentialed to an event, you're not a media member. You're not. They're not a real media member. They're not. They're YouTube channels. So anybody, listen to this. This is ridiculous. They get it straight from the horse's mouth. Okay, so name the doctor who falsified the medical records then. No, Deontay Wilder does not break news. He does not break news on 78's channel. What he does is he uses 78's channel as a PR outlet. Because Deontay Wilder doesn't have proof of a lot of the things he says. A lot of the things Deontay Wilder says is opinion. You get a media credential, you're media. That's false. You can get a media credential. You're not media. You're not media. You can get a media credential. Viva Italia! Shout out to Messi. What makes someone an official media member, in your opinion? Someone who does it for a career and has a career in doing it. I would consider Dan Raphael a media member because he's done it his whole life, and he's worked for a major network. I would consider someone like I hate to say this, but I don't think he's a good media member, but he is a media member because he's done it pretty much all his life. Mike Coppinger's, he is a media member. He does it full time. You can't just wake up one day, make a YouTube channel, and go to a fight and say you're a media member. I don't even think I'm a media member. I'm just a YouTuber with an opinion. I would never. I've been credentialed to many fights. I don't think I'm a media member. So I think guys like Dougie Fisher, they're media members. They actually cover fights. Steve Kim. Now, when I say these guys are media members, that doesn't mean I think they're good at what they do, but they have experience in the field and they've been doing it all their life and they do it full time as a job. That's their job. When they fill out their tax, when someone on YouTube fills out their tax return, they don't write on their tax return, I'm a member of the boxing media. Steve Kim, Dan Raphael, and Mike Coppinger, they do. So that's who I consider a media member, someone who does it full time. Do you guys consider me a media member? I don't think I'm a media member. I got a full-time job. I don't think I'm a media member. I've heard Kelly Swanson tell these guys to their face they're not media members. Ellie Setbeck, I would consider a media member because he's worked for a lot for AOL. He's been doing it for many, many years. So you don't have any journalistic integrity. Neither do you. Neither does Boxing Ego. Neither does 78 Sports. You're telling me a doctor lied for Tyson Fury and you have no evidence. So I can just come out and say, hey, you know what? I think you're a liar then. You lied about having COVID. You have COVID, but you're lying about it and saying you don't have COVID. And you don't have to prove me wrong then. I think you're lying about having COVID. This guy right here, Given Quality, see how he has a fake name there? He really has COVID and he's going out infecting everybody. But he's pretending that he doesn't have COVID. He really has a positive COVID test out there, but he's pretending he doesn't have it. So we can just do that to anybody. Anyone who's positive for COVID, we can say they're lying. Anyone that's negative for COVID, we can say they're lying. We'll just do that. That's what we'll do from now on. Given Quality has COVID, but he won't admit it because he won't show us his COVID test. I've never seen any of your COVID tests. How do I know you don't have it? I'll just do the same thing to you. No. This is what we have here. This is what we have here. So basically, people are only media members when they tell you things that you want to hear. You just want to be told what you want to hear. Yeah, but someone told me, a source told me that you have it, Given Quality. I heard from a source that you have COVID. I heard that you tested positive for COVID last week. Prove me wrong that you don't have it. I need you to come. I'm going to give you my email address. I need you to email me. I need you to email me a negative test result, or I'm going to believe that you have COVID. If you don't email me a negative test result, then you're lying. I think you have COVID. Somebody told me you have COVID, and I can't reveal the source. So if Tyson Fury's lying that he has COVID, or or it's not true that he has COVID, then I need someone to come out and prove that he doesn't have COVID. I need someone to prove that. So until you email me a negative COVID test result, then I think you have COVID. Because I called someone up and they say you have COVID. My sources say Given Quality for Life has COVID. And until he emails me a negative COVID result, then he has COVID. I can show you I'm not afraid of, I'm going to willingly show you my negative test result. I'll show you mine if it's still here. Patient results, yeah. Got to confirm my date of birth. Here you go. I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. I'll show you my positive result and I'll show you my negative result because I get tested. Okay, here's mine right here. Here's my test result. See what it says? Your COVID viral test was negative. Here's my test result. I don't have COVID. I'm not afraid to show my COVID result. I get tested all the time. I'm vaccinated. I had COVID back in November. Here, I'm negative. Now email me yours. And if you don't show me yours, you have COVID. Yes, I have been vaccinated. Yes. I'll show you my card. I'll show you that I'm official. Stay right there. I'll give you my card. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Here we go. Here I got right there. Moderna, 2 shots. 2 shots. March 24th, April 24th, 2 shots. Fully vaccinated. Negative for COVID this week. So I do what I once again. Has any doctor ever said Tyson Fury has COVID? Yeah. The doctor who read his test result and reported it to the commission. But Tyson Fury is not required to show you his test results. He has to show them to the commission because in order to fight in that state, the commission requirements as part of the medical protocol requires his test result to be released to the commission. So again, for him to be lying about, it's not about him lying about, he's not reading his own test result. You're accusing a doctor, a medical professional, of lying. I'm not going to lie to you. I was getting tested weekly. About 2 weeks ago, I stopped getting tested. HIPAA laws. I'm volunteering my medical information to you. But I'm not required to. Here, COVID test result. Hold on. Right here. What's that say? It says not detected, and that says negative. Right there. There it is. Not detective and negative. Now, until Given Quality sends me his result, then I'm going to say he's positive because a source told me he was positive. A source told me he was positive. I'm fully vaccinated. 2 shots Moderna. I'm official. What else you want to know? When I was fucking 10 years old, I went into a Medimart and I stole a Snickers bar. What else you want to know? Again, So here's the thing. Bob Arum's just going to willingly have this fight postponed and lose money. Vegas is going to just willingly just go along with it. The commission's going to go. Everyone's just going to go along with this. Like the people understand that when a fight is postponed, money is lost. There is no upside to postponing this fight to October for anybody. Because now it's even worse for Fury because now he's going to be out of the ring for 20 months. You think he'd rather be out of the ring for 15 months or 20 months, right? Okay, so if he doesn't fight in October, then you know what happens? The WBC strips him, and then Wilder fights someone else for the vacant title. Okay, so you're telling me that my positive COVID test is fake and my negative COVID test is fake and my vaccine didn't, that's what you're telling me. You're telling me. COVID is that your opinion or do you have facts to back that up? You're a COVID denier. So according to you, COVID's not real. So nobody that tests positive for COVID has COVID. This is a COVID. COVID is a taboo subject, and they just go with motions instead of questioning. Question anything you want. I've asked several questions. I'm not a fan of Fauci either. I don't trust him, but I do trust that when I was sick in November for 10 days, and I got my COVID test and it said I was positive, I didn't think it was a coincidence. Thought I had COVID because I've never been sick like that before. I've probably been sick. I've never had the flu. I haven't had a cold, I think, in about 8 years. And when I do have a cold, I just get a sniffle. So for me to be sick like that for 10 days, I mean, it wasn't crazy sick, but I was more sick than normal, more sicker than usual. Then I knew I had COVID because the results said I did. I didn't think it was a coincidence. So my brother was hospitalized for 11 days. He was never sick like that in his life. He was on oxygen, right? You're not going to tell me that was fake. You're not going to tell me that was fake. That was a mirage. You have no right to see by you saying that. You know how many people you're insulting, right? You're making light of something, right? You know how ignorant that sounds by saying that? Did any of these other channels explain to you why all these people would be helping Tyson Fury to postpone this fight? And how is this beneficial to Tyson Fury? He's going to be out of the ring for 20 months now. Oh, well, he could just pull out of the fight. Okay, let him pull out of the fight. He's going to be sued by his promoter, right? He's going to be sued by Deontay Wilder because, again, he strung Deontay Wilder along again. Either way, if he doesn't fight, it's going to cost him money to not fight because he's going to be sued by everybody. You know how many people are going to sue Tyson Fury if he pulls out of this fight? If he just pulls out of this fight? He could retire tomorrow, but he still has to pay damages because this contract was not enforced. Any court that this goes in front of, he's going to be forced to pay damages. He's going to have to pay Deontay Wilder. He's going to have to pay his two of his promoters, right? There is no upside for this fight being postponed. Oh, he's going to duck Deontay Wilder. People are dumb. People are fucking stupid. You're fucking all idiots if you think that Fury is just going to pull out of this fight and risk being sued up the ass. He signed a fucking contract. Signed a contract. And then if the fight is rescheduled for October, guess what? The contract gets amended. Oh, what about the September 15th? What about the September 15th deadline from the arbiter? Okay. He's going to have to sign an amended contract for October. And then he's going to be mandated and required to fight in October, unless he wants to get sued up the ass for breach of contract. So everyone's just going to fucking blow all the money. Just fuck the money, fuck everything, because Fury doesn't want to fight Wilder. Okay. So Fury's going to have to pay for not wanting to fight Wilder. That's what's going to happen. Explain to me, anybody in the chat, please, explain to me the benefit of Fury pulling out of this fight. It makes no sense. None of it makes sense. You don't have to trust him. You don't. You don't. But if he pulls out of this fight, his promoter is going to sue him. He's going to have to pay his promoter damages for all the money that they put up promoting the event, for all the money they spent, right? He's going to have to pay Deontay Wilder damages, right? Because he didn't fulfill his rematch clause. And if the fight gets rescheduled and he decides not to sign it, then guess what? Then guess what? He's going to get stripped. He's going to have to pay damages. You don't have to trust him. But I repeat, and I'm going to continue to repeat that. Okay, T is about to pull out of the Kambosos fight and was rewarded with a new deal. Well, once again, Top Rank is not promoting that event, so it has nothing to do with Top Rank. So I don't know how you're saying they're rewarding him with anything. Tio signed a contract. If he doesn't fulfill the contract, guess what? Top Rank sues him for damages. What did Floyd Mayweather do when he wanted to get out of his contract with Top Rank? What did he have to do to get out of his contract with Top Rank? He had to pay him $700,000. Again, you think these guys are just going to willingly just blow hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars with no good reason? Once again, Fury can vacate this title, right? He can. But he's going to be sued for damages because Wilder waited close to 2 years for his rematch clause while he could have been fighting somebody else. Bob Arum put up so much money promoting this event. So but Bob Arum's going to sue him for damages. Do you know how much money this guy is going to lose if he pulls out of this fight? So it's not worth it for him to pull out of this fight at this point from a financial standpoint, because he's going to be sued up the fucking asshole. There's just no way he's going to be able to get around it. This is what you guys don't understand. Anytime this situation will go before a court, they're going to rule against Fury. They're going to rule against Fury. He has to fight Deontay Wilder next. If he doesn't, he's going to have to pay his promoter damages and Deontay Wilder damages. And it's going to be a lot of money. It will cost him more money to not fight than to fight. So what do you think he's going to do? It costs Fury more money not to fight than fight. So all these fucking idiots on here that are dumb, they're just fucking dumb. All these fucking dummies. You are dummies. You are fucking idiots. Idiots. Oh, Tyson Fury, he's trying to pull out of the... Oh, okay. Yeah, he's so he's just going to give up millions of dollars to not fight this guy. Stupid. Yeah. The doctor? Oh, yeah. He's in Tyson Fury's. Oh, yeah. Tyson Fury called up the doc. Hey, Doc, when you read my test result, right? Wherever you send this lab to, whoever's reading this test result, can you tell them to say that I'm positive so I can have this fight postponed to October? Yeah. Do that. So, yeah. Oh, really? Okay. How much is that going to cost? Oh, okay, yeah. Checks in the mail, doc. Yeah. What the fuck are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing here? I mean, are we really even having these conversations? Are we really even having these conversations? Is this for fucking real? Honestly, is this for fucking real? Does anyone really, really fucking believe that a doctor is going to lie for Tyson Fury? Someone's going to commit fraud. You really believe a doctor is going to commit fraud, face prison time, face a fine up to $250,000, have a felony on his record, and never, ever, ever be able to practice medicine again? Never be able to get a job again because he'll have a felony on his record. Who the fuck is going to throw their life away just so Tyson Fury can get a postponement? Well, Tyson Fury's going to pull out of the fight. Let him pull out of the fight. Let him pull out of the fight. Right? He'll get stripped of the title probably. There's no way the WBC can let him hold on to this. You know, they'll enforce Deontay Wilder as the mandatory challenger, right? And he'll have to fight Deontay Wilder. If he decides he doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder, then guess what's going to happen? Once again, I'll repeat, he will be sued up the asshole for an exorbitant amount of money. An exorbitant amount of money. I called Bob Arum. I fucking called him. And you know what he said to me? He goes, there's virtually no way Fury can pull out of this fight without being responsible for damages. It will cost him almost as much money to not fight than fight. Right? With the amount of damages that he would have to pay out to various people. There's no way. There's no way he's going to pull out of this fight. None. And even if Teofimo pulls out of his fight, everyone's like saying, oh, well, he'll just pull out of the Kambosos fight. That ain't happening either. There's no way he's pulling out of that fight, and I'll tell you why. Because once again, Trilla and Top Rank will both sue him for damages. So if he wants to pull out of this fight, then guess what? His next fight will be for free. Because it'll all go to Trilla and it'll all go to Top Rank. Because once again, you can't sign a contract and then have the promoter promote your event, spend money to promote your event, and then you're just going to pull out and the promoter's just going to say, no problem. It's okay, man. We're going to do you a solid. That money we put up to promote the event, don't worry about it. That's on the strength right there. Don't worry about it. That's on the strength. No. Teofimo Lopez will not pull out of that fight. Because once again, it'll cost him more money to not fight than to fight. It's as simple as that, guys. It's as simple as that. When fucking Andre Ward was in litigation with fucking Dan Goosen, he could not fight for 2 years. When Mikey Garcia was in litigation with Top Rank, he could not fight for 2 years. Right? Think about that. You sign a contract with a promoter. You're responsible for fulfilling that contract. Okay? They take you to court and you're fucked. That's it. Teofimo Lopez signed a contract to fight George Kambosos under the Trilla banner. Trilla won that purse bid. He decides he doesn't want to fight. Guess what? He's got to pay Trilla for damages and potential. And then Trilla can turn around and say, well, we were anticipated to make this amount of money off the fight. Okay? We're not only going to sue him for the money that we lost in promotion, we're going to sue him for the potential earnings that we were entitled to on top of that. So that fucking $3 million, that $3 million that he's supposed to get for the fight, it's going to pay that out in damages to both Trilla and fucking Bob Arum. So do you guys really think a guy that his wife's just had a baby, he's buying a house and shit, you think he's going to be prepared to fucking throw this fight out the window, right? You think he's prepared to throw this fight out the window and pay all these damages? It's not going to happen. These fighters can say whatever and I love the fighters, and I support the fighters 100%. But when you sign the contract, man, there's nothing that can be done, bro. There's nothing that can be done. Andrew Ruiz signed a contract. He was trying to play fucking games with Anthony Joshua. Oh, I'm not going to Saudi. Guess what? He went to fucking Saudi. Why? Because it would cost him more money to not fight than to fight. Use the fucking brain, people. All these fucking brilliant geniuses here on fucking YouTube. Oh, yeah, he's going to pull out of the fight. Yeah. He signed the fucking contract, dummy! Signed the fucking contract, dummy! We've already seen Tia will vacate to not take the fight. How? How have we seen that, genius? How have we seen that? Explain. 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 Explain to me where the money's going to come from that he's going to have to pay Bob Arum in damages and he's going to have to pay Trilla in damages. Where's that going to come from too? All you fucking dummies. You're dumb. Anyone that's fucking refuting this, you're a fucking moron. Moron. You're dumb. Do you realize that when you sign a contract, you put your name on a fucking dotted line? That is a legal binding agreement. Legal binding agreement. Again, empirical data. Mikey Garcia signed a contract. Andre Ward signed a contract. Floyd Mayweather signed a contract. They all wanted out of their contracts. Floyd Mayweather, brilliant man when it comes to business, boxing business. Brilliant man. What did he do? I don't really want to pay this $700,000, but guess what? I'm going to be making fucking $20 million to fight, $25 million to fight De La Hoya. All right. So that gets cut to $18 million. All right. Andre Ward and Mikey Garcia did not have such luxury. Guess what happened to them? They sat on the shelf for 2 years. They sat on the shelf for 2 years. Right? They sat on the shelf for 2 years. So why? Why did that happen? Why did that happen? Because they could not buy out of their contract. That's what happened. That's what happened. That's what fucking happened. Damn, there's like 26 dislikes. Yeah, see, because all you motherfucking dummies are pissed. All you dummies are pissed. I love it. Keep fucking disliking it. Keep fucking disliking it. It's got more dislikes than it's got likes. That's great. I don't give a fuck. I want them to. Because you know what that tells me? Every person that disliked the video, that's how many idiots we have in the fucking on YouTube. So I need to know what I'm fucking working with. I need to know what I'm working with here. I want to see all the dummies that I'm working with here, who don't understand fucking law, who don't understand contract law. Once again, stay right there. Stay right there. I always got to pull this out. Business law and the legal environment. Okay? It's a fucking law book. Okay? Took this in college. Okay? I understand contracts. Okay? Here it is. Business fucking law. Everyone just talks out of their fucking ass. I do research. I read. I talk to fucking lawyers all the time. Okay? I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So I want my clown detector's going off, because the more the dislikes go up, the more my clown detector goes off. Right? Because that just shows me how many of you fucking idiots are clowns out there. Oh yeah, Fury's just gonna pull out of the fight, right? He's gonna break his contract with Top Rank. He's gonna break his contract with Wilder. You know, ESPN's just gonna be happy about this too. They're not gonna fucking sue for damages. No, they didn't put any time and effort into promoting this fight either. Everyone's just gonna say, you know what? Tyson's having a bad day. He's not feeling well. You know, he doesn't want to fight. Poor Tyson. You know what? Just let him. Forget about it. All that money we put up and spent on this promotion, and all the employees we had to pay that worked on this, you know, don't worry about it, Tyson. It's okay. Here, you want a cookie while you're at it? I mean, what the fuck? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Oh, Tyson Fury's trying to duck him, trying to pull out of the fight. Oh, Teofimo. I guarantee you Teofimo Lopez fights. I guarantee you he fights. I guarantee you he fights. There's no way he's not going to be able to fight. No way. No fucking way. There's one way he cannot fight. Is if Top Rank says, okay, we'll pay the damage, we'll pay Triller the damages for you. But guess what? That's going to come out of your fucking purse. That's going to come out of your purse. But is he going to want to fight for fucking virtually nothing? Right? Is he going to want to fight for virtually nothing? He's got a baby on the way? Nah. They're not going to let that slide. One motherfucker. Now we're talking. Here we go. Here now you're getting smart. Now you're getting smart. See how I educate you? And you start, now you're getting it. School's in session, and I'm not even charging you, man. This is free. This is free. Now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. Here you go. Now you're getting it. Here you go. Good job. Finally getting some people that are actually retaining some of this fucking education that they're getting today. There's no way that fight doesn't happen. Zero. Here we go. Here we go. Excellent. Excellent. Now go on the Blue Blood Sports channel. Let him fucking tell you, oh, the fight, Fury, he's looking to come up. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yep. And everyone's just gonna let him do it without fucking seeking damages. Oh yeah. His lawyer's not gonna tell him, hey man, guess what? This is what happens when you pull out. This is what happens if you fight. What do you want to do? That much I'm gonna have to pay if I pull out? That much? I'm fighting. I'm fighting. Forget about it. I'm fighting. That's it. That's it. That's it. Then you got fucking Fred Hawthorne. This is a guy that's like supposed to be Mr. fucking businessman. And he doesn't even know this. It costs Tyson Fury more money. Again, I'll repeat. It will cost him substantially more money to not fight than to fight. So what would any logical... Let's just be real. I'm just going to ask everyone a question right now. Let's just be real. If you're Tyson Fury and you signed a contract to fight Deontay Wilder, right? And you made an obligation to your promoter, right? And you have to fight this fight. You were ordered by a magistrate to fight this fight, right? And if you knew that if you didn't fight this fight, that Top Rank would sue you, Deontay Wilder would sue you. Possibly ESPN would sue you too, right? Great possibility ESPN would sue you too. So you could pay out as much as $10 to $15 million, $10 to $15 million in damages. So are you going to risk paying out all these fucking damages to fucking all these various people just to get out of a fight? Isn't it a fighter's job to actually make money when they fight? Isn't it a boxer's job to make money to fight, not to lose money to not fight? Like, he signed the fucking contract. He signed the fucking contract. Do you know how much money he would fucking lose for not fighting? So what are you guys going to do? You're going to pull out? You're going to pull out like Boxing Ego said? Fucking Fred Hawthorne said? These guys are the smartest people on the world. These guys are geniuses. They know, hey man, I'm all about the money, man. I know the business. Yeah, I'm Fred Hawthorne, man. You guys don't know what I've done. You know, I know business, man. I'm a millionaire. Really? So how many contracts have you signed and not fulfilled? And if you're such a millionaire, if you think that someone could sign a contract and not have to pay out damages, then listen, Fury is a knucklehead, right? Fury lies. He lies, right? Fury tested positive for fucking nandrolone. Yes. Fury has never defended the heavyweight title. Yes. Whatever you want to say, that's fine. You can say whatever you want to say. And you'll be right if you criticize Fury. You'll be right. But there's no way in hell he will not fight this fight, because, again, one more time for the slow people in the back, he will lose more money if he doesn't fight than he fights, right? He's got to fight, or he will be paying out damages out the ass. Out the ass. He makes more money if he fights than if he don't fight. Just remember that. So everyone sits there and they want to they think they're a genius, and they make these just simplistic, broad statements, but they don't do their fucking homework. None of them. Dummies. Idiots. There's no way he pulls out of this fight. Can't. Unless he wants to pay fucking tens of millions of dollars to get out of this fight. Tens of millions of dollars to get out of this fight. Teofimo Lopez is fighting too. He can't afford not to. You can make an argument that maybe Fury can afford to not fight. Who knows? I don't know how much money he's got in the bank. But I know for sure I'd be willing to bet dollars to donuts that there's absolutely no way Teofimo Lopez can afford not to fight. No way. No fucking way. Zero way. That's it. So yeah. The whole thing, ticket sales are horrible. Well, there's nothing, even if that's true, which I don't believe is true. Even if that is true, we're going to recap it before we close out here. Even if that is true, they're going to be even worse if you put the fight in October. Going up against football and all the other sports, right? NFL, NCAA football, right? Close to the holidays. People are just going to be coming off buying the pay-per-view in August, right? Spence, right? UFC pay-per-views. No one's gonna want to buy a fucking pay-per-view in October. No. So the financial situation becomes worse. Even if you want to question the situation now of them not making what they want to make, or numbers not being what they wanted to be, they're going to be worse in October. They just are. If you have a brain, you'll be able to figure that out. You'll be able to figure that out, right? They're going to be worse. All right. Again, the whole COVID test being fake. Again, it's protocol, guys. It's protocol. You have to, in order to be cleared to fight, you have to take a COVID test. You and everybody in your camp have to take a COVID test, right? You and the members of your training team have to take a COVID test. You have to, right? No doctor is going to falsify the results of that test. They're just not going to do it. The repercussions that they would be facing are too great, right? This is not going to happen. Oh, well, Tyson Fury's trying to pull out. Yeah, he can pull out if he wants. But again, there's just no way he's going to want to pay all those damages. He makes more money to fight than not fight. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. So just let's just use common sense. Fury's a fucking idiot for what he did. He's an idiot. He's an idiot for doing what he did, not getting fully vaccinated, going out, knowing when he wasn't fully vaccinated, going out in these large crowds. He's an idiot. He's a fucking idiot. Seeing how all these fights are being canceled and postponed because of COVID. He's an idiot. Shout out to Deontay Wilder. He did what he was supposed to do. Got to give credit where credit is due. Got both shots. Stayed in seclusion. Stayed focused. Stayed training. He's not going out partying because he didn't want to risk anything. He didn't want to leave anything to chance. Oh, hey, and I forgot to talk about this. I'm so sorry. Oh, the vaccine doesn't do anything anyways. You could still get COVID even if you have the vaccine. Okay. But you're 90% protected with the vaccine. Okay? It's 90% effective from protecting you against COVID. So what odds do you like better, fucking dummies? Would you rather someone tell you that you have a fucking, you could not be vaccinated and there's probably a 60 to 70% chance you're going to get COVID, right? Or would you rather get vaccinated and there possibly be an 8 to 10 or 5 to 10% chance you're going to get COVID? What would you rather be? What category or what situation would you rather be in? Dummies. Fucking dummies. Okay? So, once again, stop spreading misinformation about this vaccine. Okay? Me and my brother both got the vaccine, and since we've gotten the vaccine, we have not tested positive. We have not gotten sick. Okay? So don't sit there and tell me that the vaccine has not helped us. I'm just not going to accept it. I'm not going to believe it. And shout out to, you know what? I got to give my man Outside the Ropes. Shout out to Outside the Ropes, bro. He's an old school YouTuber, man. He's an old G on here, man. And you know, he votes for his fighters, and I have no problem with it, man. I have no problem with it. I have no problem with people voting for who they want to vote for, rooting for who they want to root for. But once again, you know, I'm just gonna still call it like I see it, man. I'm gonna call it like I see it. Shout out to Outside the Ropes, man. Nice to see you on here, brother. It is not mandatory to get the vaccine. It is not. That is 100% correct. But if you're an athlete, right, and you stand to lose millions of dollars for not fighting or for not being able to play or whatever, right, it would make sense to get it, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? It would make sense to get it, wouldn't it? It really would. And why would you get one shot and not get the other one? Once again, how stupid is that? Fury has enough bread. Meaning what? Meaning that he's just going to pull out of this fight and spend tens of millions of dollars in legal fees. That's the ideal situation for Fury right now. Sign a contract, don't fulfill it, and then pay out tens of millions of dollars in legal fees. That's what he wants to do. Damages and legal fees. He has enough money to do that? No problem, brother. He has enough money to do that? Really? I've seen millionaires fight for to keep less money than that. I know guys that are 10 times richer than Tyson Fury and wouldn't even part with $1 million. They wouldn't let anyone take $1 million from them. And so you're saying that Tyson Fury is just going to give up tens of millions of dollars to not fight? Fury could retire now and be in the record books for what? Never defending his title after winning it. Ridiculous. Listen, once again, you get a card. It tells you what vaccine you have. Okay? Tells you what vaccine you have. All right? So he would know. They don't have to tell you what vaccine you have. It gets written on your card. So if they're saying he didn't get the second shot, then that means he was supposed to get 2 shots. So it's highly unlikely. And this is a rumor because this has not been reported. This is a rumor because it's not been reported. Okay? They tell you what vaccine you got. That's the Moderna. That's 2 shots. Tells you the date and everything on it. So there's no, you can't pretend, you can't play dumb here. Because as soon as you get the first shot, they write the second date on there. Okay? And they tell you when you got to come back. So it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And I'm not saying they didn't tell you that, but they're lying. That's bullshit. All right? Because Wilder got the Pfizer. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Because once again, I work in the industry. Most people that get the Johnson & Johnson one are the elderly people. Very few people are being given the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Okay? So that's bullshit. They're trying to do damage control right now. So all those 10 people got the Johnson & Johnson, and that's why they're positive right now. Like think of the coincidence that would have to be. Again, he didn't get the second shot. Well, this is another excuse that's being put out there. Boxers are like kids, and I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying it's not true. You are one of the rare ones. Most people I know either got the Pfizer or the Moderna. You are the rare one. I got the Moderna. My brother got the Moderna. My sister got the Pfizer. And my other sister got the Pfizer. Everybody at work that I know of, they got the Moderna. I don't know anyone that got the Johnson & Johnson. I'm not saying that people haven't gotten it, but a very small portion of people that got this vaccine got the Johnson & Johnson. Do you know a lot of people that got the Johnson & Johnson, Chakal? Most people you talk to, what do they tell you? What version of the vaccine do they tell you they got? Which one? I'm curious to hear what you have to say on that. But yeah. I don't even see why there would even be a story of him only getting 1 shot. You know, Did everyone get the Johnson and Johnson, and 10 of those people just coincidentally all got COVID after Bob Arum said the whole team and the whole corner was vaccinated? So the vaccine, is that less effective, that 10 after getting that after everyone getting the vaccine, that 10 people are going to test positive for COVID? Once again, that goes against logic. That goes against logic. Because the vaccine is 90% effective, right? So if the vaccine was 90% effective, then I could see 1 or 2 people getting it in the camp. But 10 people getting it in the camp? Nah. They weren't vaccinated, guys. They weren't vaccinated. Yeah, here you go. Listen to this story. I get what you're saying, bro. I'm mad. I have tickets for the fight, and I will have to go because I can't cancel hotel and flight. So Chakal's got to go to Vegas, right? He's got to go to Vegas and not be able to see the fight because he can't cancel his hotel. Again, I never said. However, shit happens, and I think Fury just made a mistake, but I don't think he was scared or wanting to avoid. Capetillo told me he was training hard. He shut down his social media. He shut down his social network. He was focused. Listen, I don't think he's afraid of Deontay Wilder either. I think he's irresponsible. I just think he's irresponsible. And his history shows that he has questionable decision making. I'm not saying he's afraid or whatever. Those are the LDBC people saying that. My big thing is I think he's just incredibly irresponsible. That's my argument. That's my argument. If you knew you weren't fully vaccinated, why the fuck would you go into a crowd of 73,000 people? Why would you be flying to Florida, hanging out with AB at a bar? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how Capetillo would know he was training hard. I don't know he was in the camp. I don't know. But again, if 10 people are testing positive, then something's wrong. 10 people in one camp are testing positive and 0 people in another camp are not testing positive. That tells you one side did the right thing and another side didn't. He's just not a reliable person. This is a guy who's pulled out of a fight with like fucking. There was one time he pulled out of a fight with like fucking 10 days left to fucking the fight. He's got a history of just doing stupid things. I just, as much as I like the guy as a fighter or whatever, much of a fan as I am of him, I'm pissed right now. I can't defend him on this. That's all. That's all. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. I think that's about it here. I mean, there's not much more I can say. I'm fucking aggravated. I'm pissed off, but let me know what you guys think. It is what it is. I got to tell the truth here. I got to be honest. I can't lie. I can't just talk about things that I, want to be true. I have to talk about the truth. I just got to talk about the truth, right? All right. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you check out the Ringside Reporter podcast. We have changed the time to 6 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you check me out. I'm going to be on the Boxing Voice this Thursday. I think we're going to be moving the roundtable over to the Boxing Voice, so make sure you check out the Boxing Voice. Make sure you subscribe to the Boxing Voice. Make sure you subscribe to D-Style Boxing. Make sure you subscribe to Maestro A Boxing. Make sure you subscribe to G Funky, Calix Boxing. Damn, there's so many of them, man. You know who I roll with, man. Just make sure you check. Subscribe to all those people on YouTube, man. These are great channels. And there's no new media. There's no old media. To me, there's just the true media. You could choose to be an old media person or a new media person, but I want to align myself and believe the true media. Okay? True media. That's the operative word. The key word here is true media. Not new or old, but true. Fuck the agenda. Fuck the agenda. Fact of the matter is, Tyson Fury is an irresponsible person. He's a volatile person. He makes poor decisions. And that's just the bottom line. Did he have a bad camp? It's possible. Was he ready? I'm not sure. Does he want to pull out of the fight? He'd be an idiot if he wanted to and lose all that money that he'd be paying in damages. That's all I'm saying. And I'm sure someone's telling him that. He knows what's going to happen if he decides to pull out of this fight. He knows. So it is what it is, guys. Bieber's out. Talk to y'all soon. Peace. Thank you so much for tuning in the chat. Haters, lovers, whatever. Thank you all. Give me 1,000 dislikes, man. You're not going to ever censor me, man. I'm going to always speak the truth. There's no agenda here. I don't belong to any tribe. I'm my own man, bro. I belong to any cult, any tribe. I'm my own man here. Simple as that. Bieber's out. Talk to y'all soon. Peace out, everybody. Stay safe.